everyone. Welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So, I got another palette to play Guess the Palette, right? And this palette is like, it's one of my favorites. It may be my favorite palette by this brand. And that says a lot considering how many palettes this brand has. But, it's just phenomenal, this palette is. This is the look we're going to create today. Now, is this look anything revolutionary? No. Is it basic? Yes. But is there something about a basic look that can be underrated? You know what I mean? This is the first shade we're going to go into. And I think that sometimes that's what happens. Because if you think about it, for me anyway, when I do looks, and I do a lot, I mean, that's a given. On an everyday basis, like if I'm going out of town and I'm not filming, I'm wearing a neutral look for the most part. Neutral as in saying like mauves and pinky colors, but pinky as in a cool pink, cool, neutral pinks type of thing. Not like hot, vibrant, pinks. Although I wouldn't care, I would wear that too. But in general. Now, do I take a colorful palette with me? Yeah, I do. But I feel like, for the most part, it's neutrals. And that's just because, to me, they're just easy to use. It's a quick look. You can't, you really just, you can't go wrong in the look. It's just, it's simple, I guess, and it can be elegant and all that. Not to say that color can't be, but for myself, as a non-makeup artist, color can be difficult. You know what I mean? The next shade we're going to go into is this one right here. And don't get me wrong, there are some companies that can make color look work, or the powders, whatever, the eyeshadows work really well. And then there's some that you gotta struggle. So I do find a difference, I can create sometimes a quicker look using a color palette if it is good quality. But it's not a likely scenario for me on an everyday basis, to be honest. Even with the best of colorful looks and the colorful shades, it takes me a while because it's out of my comfort zone. It's out of my, everyday. And with colors, you can see mistakes so much clearer than with more neutral colors, And actually, this look here, I've never done using this palette before, which is, kind of crazy in a way. I will also say that for the most part, this is probably one of my most used palettes, which is crazy there too if you think about it. Just because I can go into this palette and create such a pretty look very quickly and without any kind of issues. We're going to go into this shade now to darken up that outer corner. Actually, let's take this shade here, this one right here that I just used, and put it on the lower lash line. Let's go ahead and do that lower lash line real quick. Where's my mirror? So, I mean, I adore this palette. I do think that it is one of the best palettes that this brand's released, if not the best, as far as quality, as far as the color story, as far as having the finishes that I like and none that I don't like. So it's a win for me, this whole palette. And I do think that actually, with that said, the brand itself, making these palettes the way they have, pretty smart. Alright, now we're going to take that brown and we're going to darken up this outer corner here. And again, I am not a makeup artist, so, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. So I do need shadows to kind of do the work for me. And even though these are, I guess, more affordable shadows, they work so well. Some. Now I've heard some palettes that all palettes aren't equal, you know what I mean? Some people say that some of the palettes are not as good as others. I've luckily have never had that experience. The palettes that I do own from this brand are phenomenal. I mean, now there may be textures I don't like in there, or the color story I don't like, but the formula itself isn't bad for what it is. That is so pretty. Like I said, I've never did this particular eye look before, which isn't like crazy unheard of considering like it is a bigger palette. So to use all the colors would take me a while, and since my collection is so large, it could take me a while to, you know, use them. But at the same time, it's kind of a look that I would do. So it kind of surprises me that I haven't done this look before, to be honest. Just making sure that both sides are the same. It's a lot of back and forth, as always with me. Not so much with this particular color story though, because it's in a way a neutral. It's not, but it is. And I wonder if this is a #1 seller actually from them, if this palette was a good launch for them. Because I really do adore the palette a lot. Alright, now I'm going to take that brown that I just used in the outer corner and we're going to line the lower lash line. And I could have used a brown mascara today, and I did think about it, but I ended up going with black for some reason. But I think brown would have been pretty too. I'm just lining right up on the lash line. I use my Tarte Fake Awake for the waterline. I'm just dabbing that brown up in there. My lashes just a little, not much, just a little. Just kind of as far over as I took the brown on the lid. Okay. And then back in with that pinky shade. Alrighty. Ain't that looking good right now? I think I got it as dark. As the other side too. And even though this formula is easy to use, I still go in with a light hand. It's always better to be safe than sorry. But it does apply beautifully. Alright, I think that's as far over as I want to go with the shade. Yeah, okay. Now we're going to take this beautiful, and I did not wet this or anything, you all. Not even a little bit. And it's just so foiled looking. That shade right there, and we're going to place it all over the lid. And I didn't get any kind of fallout with it. And actually all these shades pretty much give this kind of foiled look to it in this palette. So if you do spray them, obviously you'll have much more payoff out of it. But I just wasn't, spraying as I never do really. I would really, there'd have to be a reason for me to spray because I just ain't got the time. Even though it doesn't take much, it takes enough for me, so. But look at that, that is just so pretty. So what kind of clues do we have today? Well, we know it's kind of a bigger palette, but it still is easy to use. We know the brand is somewhat affordable, and this is most definitely my favorite palette from this brand. Now we're going to go in with this champagne shade and put on the inner corner. The shade right there, we're going to put it on the inner corner. And did I say for waterline I used the Tarte Fake Awake? I think I did. I don't know how I feel about the rest of my makeup, but I am liking my eyes today a lot. I'm not really obsessed with the rest of my makeup though, I won't lie. It's alright. It's not the worst, but it's not the best by no means. So I will say that, but I will say that the eyeshadow look really did turn out good. But I think my makeup didn't turn out as good because I was having issues with some of my brushes, to be fair. Alright, let me put that one shade a little bit darker so that it can be seen. So we used 5 shades out of the palette. But it's still a really, the color story is just gorgeous. That's all I can really say about it, to be honest. We're going to go ahead and use the YSL for the top lashes. And the other thing is honestly, every time I have used this palette for a look, every time, okay, keep this in mind, every time, I have always loved the look. It has never done me dirty. Even when I wasn't for sure on like the colors, somehow, some way, it worked. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. Because there's not a lot of palettes out there that you can say you've enjoyed every eye look you create with a palette. No, something's out there beeping. Lovely. My goodness, something really is out there beeping. Hope y'all can't hear it. But yeah, this is just like, it's such an easy look to do too. I have to redo my nail polish. Actually, you know what? Because this is not the eyeshadow, my makeup. Maybe it's not the brushes, and maybe it is the sunscreen. Now that I'm thinking about it. Or it could have been moisturizer, because I used a different moisturizer too. I think that's why the makeup didn't turn out as good on my face as it has the last couple of times I've been doing my makeup. We're using the Lancome for the bottom lashes, and then we're done. But you can't tell me that this is not a pretty look and that it was so easy to create. And there's so many options that you could create in this palette. It's amazing. But let me know if you can guess the palette or even the brand. Let me know. But I kind of think the colors I use will kind of give away the palette in a way. And the fact that it's affordable, there's very few affordable brands that can make metallic shades like this, so I think that might give it away too. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had fun. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.